everybody, it's Stacie Duffy here, your Denver Metro real estate resource. And today I wanted to answer a question that B left in the comments on one of my other videos about what a buyer can do. And I'm going to split this up into different ones, but I'm going to start with buyers and first-time buyers. So what a buyer can do to help the process of buying their home and help their agent, which is so nice. So thank you so much for asking, because no one ever asked me, hey, how can I make this go easier? So, and there are a lot of things that to do before you buy a house or before you're starting that process that can really make things go so much smoother, can give you a much better experience, can save you time, can save you money, can do lots and lots and lots of good things. But a lot of times it's your first time buying a house, right? So you don't know what you don't know and you don't know what to do. So I made a little list. I'm going to try to stay on track for y'all, because you know me, sometimes I ramble a bit. Sorry, guys. First thing, before you buy a house, know your numbers, okay? So know what your monthly budget is. A lot of people pick a price. You're going to pick a price based on your monthly budget. You don't live in the price, you live in the payment every month. So unless you're buying a house cash, totally different scenario. In that case, you're probably not watching this video. So know what your monthly budget is. If it's, hey, I don't want to spend more than $2,000 a month for my, my taxes, my insurance, my pretty much everything related to my home, HOA fees, whatever. Know the number in your of your monthly budget. Sorry, guys. I've showed 7 houses today. I can't talk. Know how much cash you have available. So, and that's not just for down payment, because a lot of times I'll speak with first-time buyers in my buyer orientation and say, okay, so what's your down payment? And they'll say, I have 50 grand. I'm like, cool. Is that just your down payment, or is that all of your cash available? And they're like, well, I thought that's the same thing. So you're going to need money for closing costs. You're going to potentially need some money to have for appraisal gap coverage. You're going to need money to cover appraisal and inspection and some other things along the way. So know what your cash available is and how much you can put towards each thing, because that's going to change, your monthly budget number and the purchase price number. So a realtor can definitely help you with those things. A lender can certainly help you with those things. And knowing what your debt is and your income. So a lot of people start with the lender piece as far as calling a lender, getting pre-approved. I think a lot of first-time buyers are getting the gist that that's a great place to start, and it is. My caution there is that a lot of first-time buyers will call whoever they hear on the radio or click on the, Redfin or Zillow link or Quicken Homes link or whatever of, hey, get your pre-approval now. And so that might not be the lender that you want to work with for various reasons, okay? Sometimes they're great. Sometimes there's a better person for you and your situation and what your finances are and what the market situation is and where you're buying. So I would suggest talking to your realtor first, knowing your numbers, and they can make some suggestions. But if you want to start with the online approval, that's cool. Just know it's going to hit your credit, so it's going to limit your options later. Okay? But knowing your numbers, that's key, guys. Number 2, what's your goal? Okay, I'm not talking I want to buy a house. I'm talking I want to have a yard so my dog can have a place to go outside and I'm not having to walk them when it's snowing at 6 o'clock in the morning before I go to work. Okay, it's I want to have a place for my mom to move in. I want to invest in myself and stop paying rent and buying somebody else a house. Whatever the goal is, know what your goal is. A good realtor, and I'll put it up in the cards and down below, a good realtor is going to ask you those questions to make sure they understand your true goal and not just the task at hand. Okay. Number 3, and sorry, I'm looking at my notes here so I don't get off track. How much do you want to know? Okay. Most realtors are probably not going to ask you this. I'm an engineer. I'm a big nerd. I like a lot of the nitty gritty details on the process, and I tend to attract that type of client that is very detail oriented and very knowledge seeking and that kind of thing. But I realize not everybody's like that. Okay. Different realtors are going to work different ways, and we all have different strengths and different levels of expertise. So be able to articulate to your realtor, and if they don't ask you, please tell them, okay? This is what's going to change your experience. So, but know how much you need to know or want to know and what kind of help you're looking for. So for example, I recently closed with a client that wanted to buy something in a certain part of town, and they called me and I said, I would be happy to help. Thanks so much for calling me. I don't know that part of town very well. I've sold there before, but it's been a long time. I'm not in it. That's not my neck of the woods. But if you don't need to know the where and the perks and, where the corner store is and what the farmer's market does, if you don't need to know all that and you want to buy a 100-year-old house, I'm going to be able to give you a lot more insight on the house itself and make sure you're very detailed in the process. And they were an attorney, so they're very particular about process, and they knew their neighborhood. So they said, yeah, cool, that's what I need. I don't need someone that knows the neighborhood. I know it. Like, awesome. So know what level of expertise you need, because not every realtor is an expert in every single thing. And this is where talking with your realtor about the process and what help you're looking for and what you want to know will determine what kind of experience you're going to have, okay? For someone that doesn't want to know all the nitty-gritty details and that's kind of stuff, and if I don't know that, I'm going to be really overwhelming for them. They're going to be like, I wish this lady would just shut up and sell me the house that I want to buy, okay? So I read my clients and I ask them those questions. What do you want to know? Because I don't want to overwhelm you. And I also want to be able to give you appropriate help. And if I'm not that person, let's not go down this road together. Let me find you somebody else that is that person. Okay. That's going to make so much difference in the experience you have, how long it takes, missing out on the house that you buy, or the house that you wanted because the agent you started working with wasn't an expert in, or wasn't super experienced in multiple offer situations, whatever. So be able to articulate what expertise you're really looking for and what your concerns and fears are that you want help with, okay? That's a big one, guys. And if they don't ask you, please offer it up and tell them. They will be so impressed that you are very clear in your expectations that's going to make it's going to set a big tone in the working relationship, which is a good thing. Especially if you're working with a true professional, they're going to appreciate that. I think I'm on number 4. Drive around and know your vibe. Okay, so what's a big help for us is when someone says, I like this part of town, but I don't like this part of town. And a good agent's going to say, okay, why do you like this and why do you not like this? Do you like that you can walk to the grocery store, walk to the coffee shop, and that they're not cookie cutter homes? And then you don't like this one because it's, has a super strong HOA and everyone has the same house and, whatever, feels very Stepford Wives, whatever. Know your vibe and describe that to your agent, okay? Or what you don't like about your current place or places that you lived. That really helps us understand how to make suggestions, because we're limited on what we can do based on steering. So I'll put a link to that in the cards and down below. We can't steer you towards or away from certain neighborhoods for fair housing reasons, for certain reasons. But if you're like, hey, I want to be able to walk to the grocery store, then I'm not going to go show you a house that's a 30-minute drive from the grocery store. That doesn't make sense, okay? So do some driving around. If you want to be within 10 minutes of work, drive around the houses that are, in neighborhoods that are within 10 minutes of your work drive and get a feel for that. Because we spend a lot of time playing tour guide just to help you learn what you do and don't like, and we're happy to do that. But it definitely lengthens the process. And those are things that you can do on your own that you oftentimes feel more comfortable doing on your own without somebody there. Because if someone's there, you're not going to say what you really think because you're not really sure if it's okay to say. So if you can articulate those things, doing the research on your own, and I'll give that to buyers. I'll give them homework and say, okay, before we go look at another house, based on, feedback in the houses we've looked at, I want you to go drive these 3 neighborhoods. So spend Sunday afternoon, go to this restaurant for brunch, and then drive these other 3 neighborhoods around it and tell me what you do and don't like. Because that's going to give me so much more feedback and I can do my job better knowing that information. But it's something that it's a better use of everyone's time for you to do it on your own. Okay? The last one, I think I'm on 5, maybe 5 or 6. Interview agents. Please, God, interview agents. Okay, guys, first-time buyers are notoriously terrible about this. You don't know to interview agent. I didn't interview my first agent. I had a bad experience. I now do this for a living. So I didn't know. Please interview agents. Ask friends, coworkers, ask on Facebook, to your network and the people that you know. Who they used, who they liked. I mean, the person that sends you a postcard in the mail every month for the last 3 years at the house you've been renting, whatever. Call open house. Open house is a great way to meet agents if you're not getting referrals from other people. Go online and read reviews, do some research. Go on YouTube and search for the area and, the agent in the area that you want to buy in. So interview agents. We all work differently. We all have different levels of expertise. And yes, many of us, most of us, 99% of us will say, yeah, we're happy to help you. I have had clients where I've said, I'm not the right person for you. I'm really not. Here's the person that you should call and you should talk to, because I want you to have a good experience. And even though I don't, that's money out of my pocket that I'm not going to make, it's not going to go well. And that's not good for anybody. I'd rather you work with somebody else that's a better fit for you. So interview agents, have questions for them. They will respect you so much for saying, hey, I'm speaking with you, but I'm also speaking with a couple of more agents. I'd like to, interview you for the opportunity to work together. Cool. When someone says that to me, I'm like, that's my kind of person. Okay. It sets a very, very good tone for a working relationship. And it also gives you the opportunity to get different feedback from different agents and who, pick someone like, and trust, or at least trust. Okay. You gotta trust them. I preached that in the other video. So anyway, those are my tips just as far as before you buy your first house, before you're getting started as a first-time buyer, things that you should do. There's a ton of things you can do, sure, but if I were to say, hey, here's your homework before you do anything, that's where I would start, okay? Because you're already looking on Zillow and Redfin and on online sites at houses anyway, because that's where everyone starts. So I don't have to put that on the list. You're doing it already. But those are the other things. So if you're liking my videos, please subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If there are other things that you've bought and you've had a bad experience and that you wish you would have done before, put that down in the comments below. Those things really, really help us work together. So I want to make sure, but everybody has a different experience and everybody has great input. So thank you for the input on the videos and the comments. Feel free to put some more down here. If you're liking my videos, subscribe to my channel. I think I mentioned that, sorry. If you are looking to buy or sell in the Denver metro area, I would be happy to help. I would love to interview for the opportunity. I think you should interview multiple agents, so not just me. But feel free to reach out to me directly. My contact information is on my website, and the link for that is down below as well. If you are a first-time buyer and you're not looking in Denver or the Denver surrounding area, and you want someone to help you interview agents because you don't know what to do or where to start, guys, reach out to me. I love to refer clients to other experts in other areas. I want you to work with someone that you can have a good experience with, okay? That's gonna help you and that's gonna know what you're looking for. And if they're not the person, they know who is, right? So feel free to reach out to me directly. I'm always happy to refer clients to other areas. I've had many people reach out and say, hey, I need a U in Topeka, Kansas, or in Miami, or whatever. Always happy to help do that, guys. I am gonna ask for some specific information to do that because I have to, because I need to make sure I'm matching you up with the right person. But happy to help there if that helps you get a good start and maybe a few good agents to interview to start with, okay? So thanks so much for the time and look forward to seeing y'all again. Have a good one. Bye-bye.